It was discussed in 2015 that this should not be done. There were two main scientists that said this should not be done. The virus is not a naturally occurring phenomena. This is very important, and I'm going to show you evidence of that. So you need to be aware of this stuff. You need to be aware of the agenda. Don't be paralyzed by fear, because this is part and parcel of their agenda. The number of people that have died so far since January 1st, 2020 from the seasonal flu is 110,823. 110,000 from the seasonal flu. This is infectious. This is contagious. This is something people catch. From communicable diseases, okay, these are diseases that can be transmitted from one individual to another individual. You're looking at 2,959,790. Now, this is just a hair under 3 million. This is again from January 1st, 2020 till today, which is early morning, March 24th. So you're talking about a cause of disease that people will catch from someone else, 16,758 that have died, compared to 110,000, again, 110,000 from just the seasonal flu, and 2.9 million worldwide from any other type of communicable infectious disease process. This is the number died. This is the number that recovered, and most of these people, of the 102,000 that have recovered within 24 to 48 hours. It's been labeled as a bioweapon by some people, and of course the media, says that that's conspiracy theory, but let's look at the actual configuration of what this virus, what COVID-19 is. So the first thing is I want to say that this wasn't because people were eating bat soup, okay, or transferred from snakes or sloths or whatever they said. The virus is not a naturally occurring phenomena. This is very important, and I'm going to show you evidence of that. Now, this virus was actually created at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, and they published the highlights of the creation in November 2015. The list of scholars associated with this Frankenstein of a virus, you'll see, named Zheng Li Shi, who just happens to represent the key laboratory of special pathogens and biosafety, Wuhan Institute of Virology, Chinese Academy of Sciences, Wuhan, China. Now, Dr. Shi, she's a key figure here. In 2014, Dr. Shi was the recipient of a number of U.S. government grants, as well as grants from the National Basics Research Program of China, the Chinese Academy of Science, the National Natural Science Foundation of China, and from the Strategic Priority Research Program of Chinese Academy of Sciences to assist in funding research into coronaviruses. Now, this is, remember, 2015. The U.S. government paid Dr. Shi and the Chinese government to fund research into coronaviruses. This was published in November 12, 2015, and this is actually the full article, the full research paper that was done. But what I want to do is I want to bring your attention to this March 2020 note that has been put there by the editors. And I want to read that first, then I'm going to go through the study, and then I want you to decide what this really means. So the editor's note before we start says, "We are aware that this story is being used as a basis of unverified theories that the novel coronavirus causing COVID-19 was engineered. There is no evidence that this is true. Scientists believe that an animal is the most likely source of the coronavirus." Now, it's obviously whoever wrote this, from the editor's note perspective, was either an idiot or doesn't understand the English language, but certainly wasn't a scientist, because I'm going to now show you what the study says. Remember, this is a warning now that they're putting here to dissuade people, to prevent them from actually looking at the science, to tell you that, look, the sky is not blue. Yeah, it looks blue to you, but it's not really blue. In November of 2015, an experiment that created a hybrid version of a bat coronavirus, one related to the virus that caused SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, as we discussed before, has triggered renewed debate over whether engineering lab variants of viruses with possible pandemic potential is worth the risk. This is the lead component, the first paragraph of the study that was published in Nature, probably one of the most respected journals in the world. So although almost all coronaviruses isolated from bats have not been able to bind to the key human receptor, which is this SHC014, which is the specific coronavirus we're talking about, was able to get into the human vector. So again, this is the study. This is what you see, reading the blue, and they're saying, whatever you see, it's not blue. Other experiments in the study show that the virus in the wild bats would need to evolve to pose any threat to humans. Okay, it would need to evolve, it would need to change, it would take time. A change that may never happen, although it cannot be ruled out. Barrick and his team reconstructed the wild virus, the naturally occurring form of the virus, from its genome sequence and found that it grew poorly in human cell cultures and caused no significant disease in mice. Okay, so here you're looking at a virus, it's found in bats, it's very difficult for it to jump to humans. Once in a human, in human cell cultures, it just grew very poorly, and in the mouse model, it didn't cause any significant disease. All right. The only impact of this work is the creation in a lab of a new non-natural risk, agreed Richard Albright, a molecular biologist and biodefense expert at Rutgers University in Piscataway, New Jersey. Why would you take a bug, a virus, a bacteria, and make it more potent? Right? What's the purpose of that? Well, they say it's for research purposes. But why would you do research to make something more potent? We absolutely must resist government run amok taking advantage of a crisis. This is how your liberty dies. Stand up, America, and resist. Department of Justice seeks new emergency powers amid coronavirus pandemic. This is the issue. This is what we need to be afraid of, that they're going to use this false flag type of event, hype it up to take away more rights, more freedoms, and create mandatory actions that people have to do, from quarantine to even more sinister things that are coming down the pipeline. So you need to be aware of this stuff. You need to be aware of the agenda. All right. Don't be paralyzed by fear, because this is part and parcel of their agenda. The virus is a self-limiting virus. It seems to burn through. If your immune system is intact, it's not going to affect you. And if it does, it's going to be very, very transient. 24, 48 hours, most people get better.